G'day everyone and welcome to another Workbench update. This is for September 2021 and there's bits and pieces all over the place. Firstly, let's look at what's been completed. This Toyota Tamiya Kit 124 scale has finally been finished since the last video. There wasn't much to go since the last time, but I'll just run through a few things. For example, the windows were not in it last time. There was a lot of scuffing on some of these that had to be polished out, so it took a bit of work, but the windows are put in. These decals, I guess like sun visors on the windscreen and the side windows, kit decals, or decals, which went on after the windows had been fitted. The windscreen wiper was a bit of an issue because of the little bracket at the front of the windscreen. The wiper wouldn't sort of fit over that, so I've had to do a bit of bending and manoeuvring to get that to resemble roughly where it would be sitting. In hindsight, these little brackets, I should have cut those off and sanded the windscreen smooth, and then added them on as extra pieces afterwards. Would have been a better solution. But anyway, this is how it is. Overall, the kit has come up good. It's not a perfect model, but it's overall it's looking fine, and in the display cabinet it looks fine. The mirrors were also some of the last things put on, as was the rear wing, because I was worried about breaking the thing off. So that's all done. It's got the engine detail. If I can get this off, unclipping it out of the main body is the hardest bit of the lot without without chipping the paint. So turbocharged V8 engine in there. Okay, now on the website there is a full photo diary of this build, from basically the parts coming out of the box through to as it is here. So if you're wanting to get see all of that, just go onto the website and either search for it or scroll down the page until you find it. Right, so that's finished. The next kit that I will start is this 43rd scale Ferrari F189 from the Brazilian Grand Prix. I'll do the Nigel Mansell version. I have done an unboxing video of this, so if you want to see all the parts involved, go and search for that on the YouTube channel, but that'll be the next kit that I start. Won't be starting for a little while yet because I've still got the Tyrrell going and this other thing over here which I'll talk about, but that will be the next kit that will be commenced. So let me just get some of this out of the way here. The Tyrrell 023 Mikasalo, I've got the white paint on. Not real happy with the finish of it just at the moment. I haven't sanded or polished any of this up, so we'll see how it comes up after that. And then there's some body pieces over here, the engine cowling, the front wing, for example, which has got some masking on it because the bottom part's going to end up being black. So yeah, I haven't had a close look at the bodywork yet, as after it's been painted in the new booth, which is going really well. I will have to make a decision in the not too distant future about whether to use these kit decals for the blue, or whether to mask off the body and paint the blue, or maybe a bit of a combination of both. So it would be easier just to throw the decals on, but I'm worried about some of these. There's going to be some overlap, and it's just not going to look very good when the blue overlaps the blue. It'll be deeper, and but then again, there's issues around masking, so don't know what I'm doing there yet. I've got to make the decision soon. There's other parts in here that are just waiting a bit more detail or painting, or in the case of the floor, we've got to put the reflective heat shielding on this, and then the engine can go into it. Over here there's some parts that are a bit more complete, so the bulkhead for the cockpit and the steering wheel and controls for the dashboard, etc. So that's all done, ready to go in when we get to the next part of the build. The rims are painted and decaled. There's a bunch of suspension arms and steering arms here that are ready to fit, but won't be able to use those until there's a bit more other things completed, such as the engine block. The drive shafts are in, but I can't put the suspension arms on here until there's some bodywork actually that fits to the sides of the gearbox that has to go in first. So some carbon fibre and some decals on the cam covers. The exhausts will go on this a little bit later on as well. Alright, so that's just the main block area, but a lot more parts to add onto that, and then that will end up getting stuck in and glued into the floor. So making progress on the Tyrrell, but still a lot to go on that. And then we've got over here decided to do another Code 3 die-cast conversion, and the initial plan didn't quite work out. Let me explain. In 2012, HRT built their first car of the future for the 2013 season, and it was a car in a carbon fibre livery with gold accents, and it looked really good. It never raced in that livery, but none of the commercial manufacturers did a model of it, and so you can get the decals aftermarket. So I thought, yep, let's do that. So that was the car of the future was introduced in 2013 in the Australian V8 Supercar Championship, for those of you who might be viewing from outside of Australia. So and in 2013 it transferred, or Holden started using their VF Commodore. So I grabbed a 2013 VF Commodore Classic Collectibles, the Garth Tander version, and thought, oh, this will be an easy strip it, respray it black, put the decals on, we'll have the test car. And so I did all of that. These are the parts. The body, for example, stripped it out and primed it. Had to do some filling. There was some deep recesses in the mould on the mudguards. And the test car had the rear wing not mounted via the side plates. It was mounted via a central pylon. So this rear wing, if I get it, it was originally mounted on the back here as part of the casting. I've cut all of that off. And it's only when I was working on the profile of these, I thought, hang on, the taillights are different. Then I realised that the car of the future, while it was debuted in 2013 using the VF Commodore, the test car still had a VE body on it. So I've had to go and get a Classic Collectibles VE model, and in the process of stripping this one, which is one of the Classic Collectibles Collectibles Club models. They used to do a Ford and a Holden each year, and while I didn't collect them, I was able to pick this one up cheap, so it's become the donor for this. The original car, though, has got the correct gold rim, so what I've got to do is take the gold rims off the VF Commodore, get them to fit this VE, which is a completely different casting and completely different concept of model. Classics for VE had interior detail. They were really good. Interior detail, steerable front wheels. The front and the rear bar were separate pieces in die-cast metal. But the VF is basically a brick. It's a casting, no interior detail, black windows, just doesn't have the detail. But I want to get the wheels from this into this because it's the VE that's going to get decaled up. So a lot of work. This turned out a much bigger job, and still got a lot of work to do to get the wheels off the VE. For example, basically had to break them. The center pieces have come out. Still got the wheel nuts here, so I can possibly use them on some other project. But now I've got to work out how to get these wheels into the VE base and get all of that to fit so that it looks okay. So yeah, a lot of work ahead on this. So anyway, that's where things stand. One model finished. That's the next one that I'll start. Still working on the Tyrrell, and this die-cast conversion is a project in progress. So that's it for the moment. Catch you next time. Cheers.